It's your boy Atlantic City, back with something a little different. Now, I don't know how many people are fans of this show, but I'm a huge fan of 60 Days In. And I've been watching a lot of 60 Days In recently, so you know what? I said, you know what? I feel like maybe this show shares some audience, with the To Catch a Predator audience. I feel like there might be some overlap there. Maybe, maybe not, but certainly one of my favorites. I fuck with 60 Days In heavy. I was a fan since day one. I watched the first episode the night it premiered. I watched the season 6 finale the night it premiered. I was there from day one to the last day. I'm guessing COVID put the show on hold. But, who knows? That's my best guess. Now, I was gonna rank all the participants and all that shit too. But there's so many. There's so many participants. So I wasn't gonna take all of their pictures in here and move them about and rank them. I just wasn't gonna do it. So I'm gonna rank the seasons. And in doing so, I will give an overview of each season's participants. So I guess we can go ahead and dive on in it. My least favorite season of 60 Days In. I gotta go with season 1. Season 1 was definitely my least favorite season. Especially, I loved it at first when it was the first season, and it was the only season. But when you go back and rewatch it after you've seen the other seasons, it is just somewhat boring. The cast is not very memorable out at all. Zach, the first goat of the show, the first 60 Days In goat. So there's Zach. Isaiah seems like a cool guy. I'm sure he is, but he did his time. He got through it. It is what it is, but he's just not memorable. He didn't bring much to the show. He didn't really do nothing. He didn't start a store. He wasn't he wasn't throwing water bottles at people. So he just, kind of a snooze fest, as far as Isaiah goes. Who else was there? Robert, you can't forget about Robert. Even after 6 seasons, Robert is still a memorable addition to the show, but still he wasn't really there. He didn't really last, so if he would have made it all 60 days, maybe, and if he would have stayed in general population instead of going to isolation or the hole for putting a towel over the camera, well, maybe it would have been a more memorable season. Then there's Jeff. Shout out to Jeff. I don't, I'm not going to bash Jeff like some would do. I'm not even going to call him a boring participant because, he didn't really stick around long enough for him to even get a chance to entertain us. And honestly, from the brief the brief time that we did have with Jeff, he was memorable. I mean, you got to give him that. He did at least entertain us. On the female side, there was Barbara, Snooze. There was Miriam. If you didn't know who Miriam was, by the way, that's Muhammad Ali's daughter, okay? That's Miriam, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but she's Muhammad Ali's daughter. And then there's Miriam. Did I mention she's Muhammad Ali's daughter? She's Muhammad Ali's daughter, and that's Miriam, Maryum. She's Muhammad Ali's daughter, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned it. I might have. I can't remember. And then there's Miriam. I'm fucking with you. Then there's Tammy. And out of the 3 female participants of season 1, I gotta give it to Tammy. You think you run this pod, you don't. Like, that shit is still hilarious. I love that. That is one of my favorite moments of season 1. You think you run this pod, you don't. That is top-notch season 1. It's one of my favorite moments of the whole season. Shout out to Tammy for that. And I think she was the most entertaining female participant of the show's first season. So I'll give her that. But season 1, weakest season. By the way, I'm not counting 60 Days in Narcoland, but that was not the move. And if I were ranking that with this, it would be below season 1 of 60 Days In, because it's not 60 Days In. I don't know what they were thinking. They should have just put him in another jail instead of that was just a waste of time, a waste of money, a waste of resources. You should have just shot another season. Then we'd have 7 seasons of 60 Days In instead of 6 seasons in a really pointless spinoff. What a disappointment Narcoland was. Oh, man. But outside of season 1, and I'm only putting season 4 above season 1, because season 4 I enjoyed the cast a little bit more, and it was a little more entertaining than season 1. So yeah, season 4 comes in at number 5. It could have been, and you know, when I first started this, I thought it probably would be my least favorite. But you know what? Let's go over the participants. There's Matt, long-haired Matt. Oh, that doesn't help because long-haired Matt's in season 3 too. Matt and his son. There's Matt and his son. There's Angele here. Shout out to Angele. Hope you're doing well. Angele, you know, even though she kind of killed the season and brought the whole season to an early end, she was definitely my favorite of the female participants of season 4. And she made season 4 so much more bearable, because the whole Jacqueline versus Stephanie was just, I cannot stand Stephanie. She's the worst participant, I think, of the whole show. My least favorite. Definitely. Jacqueline, not very memorable. Don't really mind her. On the male side, we had Matt and his son. We had Johnny. Johnny was cool. Matt was cool. Andrew was cool. Andrew was Matt's son. Then there was Alan. Alan was the cop. And of course, Nate, who returned from season 3, doing 120 days in. And by the way, there's this. I found this on Reddit. And it tells you the release. It tells you when the season 4 participants were actually booked. So, Jacqueline was the first to enter the program on September 27th, 2016. She exited the program almost exactly a month later on October 25th, 2016. She was the first to enter, but she was also the first to quit. Next to enter was Stephanie on September 29th. She was released on November 11th, 2016. Alan went the same day as Stephanie, September 29th. And he was pulled out November 15th, 2016. Now, the show made it seem like he was the first of the male participants. He was the first of the male participants to be released, but I don't know how accurate this is, but it does give you a good little time frame of when the 4th season was being filmed and how, so like Angela, for example, was only there for a month and 3 days, October 6th to November 9th. Matt entered the program October 4th. He exited on November 1st. He almost made it a month. Andrew, Johnny, Nate, and Emmanuel, all November 14th exits. Andrew entered on October 4th. Johnny 2 days later on October 6th. Nate had been there since August 10th. So Nate's entire journey on season 3 and 4 allegedly was from August 10th to November 14th, 2016. Shout out to Nate. Rest in peace, Nate. And Emmanuel, October 14th to November 14th now. So Emmanuel was the last one to enter. So he had the shortest stay of the ones that didn't quit. And even though he didn't tap out of the program, his stay was about as long as the 2 that did tap out. And Emmanuel's stay wasn't even as long as Angela's stay. October 6th to November 9th, 2016 for Angela. And Jacqueline and Matt both made it almost a month exactly. But they were a few days shy. Matt was 3 days shy and Jacqueline was 2 days shy. September 27th to October 25th for Jacqueline. Matt, October 4th, November 1st. But yeah, Alan was he was a good participant. He wasn't very memorable, though. Except near the end when he was trying to, buy meth. That was pretty cool, I suppose. Emmanuel, he was pretty entertaining. I liked the guy. Nate was good. Johnny was good. I wish they would have gave him more screen time, but I'll get into it in season 2 when I talk about them, the participants, but shit. Always something. Johnny just kind of, he did what he was supposed to do. He laid low, and that unfortunately probably doesn't make for very good TV. So I feel like we probably didn't see a lot of Johnny because of that. And I wish we did. I watched an interview with Matt. By the way, if you are a 60 Days fan, what is it? Awkward Fist Bump Productions. It is a channel ran by Mark from season 5, I believe. and he has like um I don't know if it's a podcast or what, but he does videos, he interviews him and Ashley from season 6. They interview some other participants, and they happened to interview Matt from season 4, and he said that the whole I'm worried about my son, I'm worried about my son, that they really overplayed that, and especially near the end. He said he wasn't even, really saying anything about that near the end of his stay on the show, but that they were still editing that he was worried about his son even at that point. So, Stephanie, I put season 4 above season 1 because the overall the participants were more memorable. Angele more memorable than Tammy from season 1. Stephanie, worst, least favorite character of the whole entire series. Andrew was good, but again, he just kind of did his own thing. He stayed to himself. He didn't make much noise. He didn't get in a fight. He didn't get picked on. None of that. So, it's almost like they didn't really air a lot of his footage because of that. And that's unfortunate. Because they probably had enough footage to do 20 episodes. I mean, they were filming 24/7 for 60 days, and you get 13 episodes. We could have got so much more. But yeah, that's season 4. Of course, Nate Emmanuel was good. Alan, Jacqueline. I don't really mind her, but she was just kind of whiny, but not as whiny as Mari from season 3. So what's next? What's coming in at number 4? It's season 3. Mari. Oh my God. It's gonna be a long 60 days. She was just such an annoyance. Whereas Stephanie was so annoying in season 4, Mari was annoying in a different way. Let me see. Who was in season 3? There was John. There was Don. John, Don. 60 days in season 3. Well, this isn't helping. Okay. Is that Gerson? Gerson was that early? I don't remember him being that early on in the show. Really? Let's see. Season 3. So, okay. The season 3 cast. We've got Mari. Yeah, I guess that is Gerson. Okay, so I didn't remember Gerson. I thought he was in a later season. I guess not. Okay, Gerson, he didn't even make it to the jail. He quit the show in the hotel room. What was her name? Next to Gerson. Was it I don't know. Let's see. There's John, Calvin, Don. I think her name was Michelle, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Gerson, Mari, Michelle, Jessica. Okay, Matt. Oh, Matt too. Okay, Mari was probably my least favorite. Well, not even probably. Definitely my least favorite. I do kind of wish we would have got to see Gerson go in. But we didn't. That might have made season 3 a little more interesting. Of course, Nate was great. That's why he was, I don't know, maybe they did ask the other participants too, but probably not. I know John wasn't having it, and Don was not about to stay another 60 days. No way. And Jessica. Jessica, I liked her, but not very memorable. Michelle, probably my favorite of the female participants in season 3. My favorite male participant of season 3 would probably be John. Though I think John is underrated. I really liked his relationship with Deshaun. I thought that he I just really enjoyed his following his portion of the show, his segments or whatever. Don was a memorable character. Calvin was kind of a bore. And Matt was pretty cool. So, yeah. That's season 3. Or 60 days in. So what's next? What's next? I think I gotta go with season 2. Because I rewatched season 1 and I was almost like, oh, since it was the same jail, and I'm like, oh man, it's probably gonna be just as boring. But season 2, we had Mona Lisa, we had Dion, we had Cherie, we had Ryan, we had Quentin, we had Brian, we had Chris, and we had Ashley, who happened to be Zach's wife from season 1. So, Mona Lisa was, she, I think season 2 benefits from having a strong cast of participants. Ryan, probably, not even probably, Ryan, my favorite male participant of season 2. Dion, a close second. Quentin did what he was supposed to do, but he was kind of a forgettable character, and that's not even his fault. He just didn't make waves, so he just didn't get a lot of camera time, I feel. Brian was memorable. Chris was forgettable. Ashley was good. Cherie was good. Cherie, probably my favorite female participant of season 2. I really enjoyed season 2. I liked the Ryan and Garza relationship, the whole thing with Mona Lisa trusting what's her name? That whatever that girl's name was, she was trusting that inmate, and then all of a sudden she stopped trusting her, and all of that. Cherie and Ashley got mad at each other at some point. Dion going in like, I'm taking a shower, man. I don't care what y'all talking about. I'm taking a shower. It was just, I think overall it was a pretty damn good season. Now, where would I put? Yep, season 5. I hold the shank. I hold the shank. All right. What a memorable cast of characters on season 5. There was, of course, Mark. Mark's so underrated, I think. I really liked Mark. It was, what's his name? David. And then, of course, Abner, the enforcer. If you didn't know, he was the enforcer of the Chicanos. and he holds the shank. Okay. On the female side, just like season 2, this was another time where I really liked pretty much, season 5. Actually, season 5 would be I don't know if I want to say the only season without a forgettable character. But whereas season 2, I liked everybody, Quentin was kind of forgettable, and Chris was forgettable. So with season 5, I really enjoyed Mark, David. You can't even Steve. He was barely on the show. The guy that come in like, I know about the drugs. I know where the drugs are coming in. I know everything. If you don't come get me out of here in 10 minutes, I'm gonna get up here on this table and I'm gonna expose this whole damn operation. I'll be hearing from you shortly. Like, he learned a little bit of information, and he thought he had everything he needed. He wanted to talk to the sheriff right then and there. And he was thrown out, deservedly so. Shout out to Steve. So season 5, and then the female participants, Brooke, Jasmine, and Vivian. I liked all three of them. They were, I just enjoyed the entire group of participants in season 5. Season 6, you gotta put it number 1. I'm gonna put it number 1. I don't know about you. What's y'all's favorite seasons? Let me know what y'all's favorite seasons are. If you are a fan of 60 Days In, that is. And if you're not, you're probably not even watching this, so it doesn't matter, I guess. But, yeah, season 6. I rock with season 6 quite a bit. Shout out to Tony. Some would say the savior of season 6, but there was Alex. Alex was a really memorable character, and he lasted a lot longer than Matt. So there's 3 Matts. There's season 3 Matt, there's season 4 Matt, and there's season 6 Matt. Ha, season 4 Matt. Get it? So season 6 Matt, he wasn't really forgettable. The other guy was forgettable, whatever his name was. The other Jacob? Yeah, Jacob. Now he was forgettable. He was the one that I think he dropped out in intake. At least Matt made it to the damn jail. So, and then there was Dennis, of course, Dennis. A lot of people hate Dennis. I don't mind Dennis. A lot of people hate David from season 5, and I don't really mind David. I do wish, I do hold it against him, because he did make season 5 end, and being it was one of my favorite seasons, I don't appreciate it. Maybe we could have got 2 or 3 more episodes out of the season if it wasn't for David. So, yeah, maybe I don't like David. Season 6, who else? Ashley, on the female side, I liked her. Shanice. Shanice. A lot of people hate Shanice. When you look down the list and you see Stephanie, it's like, oh, well, Shanice is nothing. I'm cool with Shanice in comparison to Stephanie. or even Mari. I'd rather deal with Shanice's whining about her having celiac disease and her whining about her food and whining about jail. I'd rather hear Shanice whine than hear Mari crying, hear Barbara whining, or hearing anything from Stephanie. Who else was in season 6? Not counting the other participants that came in. So then Tony came in. Of course, you know Tony. One of the best, most memorable characters of the show. The savior of season 6. Like I said, Alex I found to be pretty entertaining. He deserves his props for staying as long as he did, because he lasted longer than a Marine and a former CO. So, yeah, shout out to Alex. But who else was there in season 6? I'm just gonna have to look it up. Season 6. Okay, so on the female side there was Ashley, Jennifer, and Shanice. Okay, so Jennifer, I like Ashley. She was the police officer. She was cool. I liked her. Jennifer, I liked her, but she was a little a little off her rocker, a little bit. Then there was Heather, Donovan. Those were the ones that came in a little later, as well as Jacob. Now Jacob, forgettable, dropped out in intake. I counted him early, I think, because he was one of the ones that entered later. Donovan, I like Donovan. He's not a forgettable character, but he's not really a memorable character. Heather is a forgettable character. Tony's an unforgettable character. Dennis was an okay character. I'm calling them characters. I meant to say participants. Ashley was cool. Alex was cool. I just, I enjoyed the group of participants that we spent some time with that season. So it, if season 5 had more episodes, I probably would put it above season 6. But season 6, we got so much. We basically got 2 seasons in one. So that's another reason it's up there. It's got the most episodes. I think it's got the worst jail out of all of them. Like if I was gonna pick a jail to do a 60 days in, like if they were like, okay, you can be a participant on 60 days in, and you can, how many times am I gonna drop that damn lighter? If you could be a participant, which season would you have liked to have participated in, or which jail would you have liked to have done the show in? It would definitely be season 5. Season 5 looked like an adult daycare in comparison to the other seasons. Season 3 and 4 were bad. 1 and 2, that jail didn't seem like it was that bad, but season 6, that jail was really just the amount of people. Like it seemed like there was just way more people in the pods than they were in the previous seasons. So, but yeah, that's my ranking of the 60 days in seasons. And again, if I were ranking Narcoland, it would be below season 1 of 60 days in. So yeah, what do y'all think about 60 days in? Are y'all fans of the show? I'm a big fan of the show. Like I said, since day 1. And if they ever come out with another season, I will be there first day. I will be there premiere night. But yeah, how would you rank the seasons? Who's your favorite not cast member? Who's your favorite participants? Who's your least favorite participants? What's your least favorite season? What's your favorite season? This your boy Lantic City. I'm gonna get up out of here. Just felt like doing something a little different. A little different. I've been doing a lot. I've been on my little 60 days in binge. So for the last month, I'd say. So I've really taken in the show. You know, I rewatched every season again, and just said, hey, you know, I think this show might share some To Catch a Predator viewers or fans, and you know, so here it is, my ranking of the 60 Days In seasons. I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. This your boy Lantic City, and if you did watch, I appreciate it. But yeah, that's it. I think I'm gone.